missing was that button that lets me record this so that I can, Adele, I don't know why you're not coming in. Anyway, I want to record this so I can put it on YouTube because a lot of people watch.
It's saying you're recording.
Let's see, Adele, I'm going to, wait a minute. Adele,
can you hear me?
Who's talking?
Vic.
Yes, I hear you. I don't see you, but I do hear you.
Oh, well, it asked me and I said no. It asked me if I wanted to be seen. I said no.
Why would you do that? This is a video thing. Jeez.
If anybody else tell me, and I'll jump off there.
Okay, Adele, I'm going to click you out because you're not coming in, and try to reload again. I'll let you back in. It's not a permanent thing. Okay. Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay, so Nana's Joy. Okay, let's see if Nana's Joy can get in. Yes, can we hear you this week?
Yes, you can.
Yes, we can. And Vic, we just can't see you. For those of you who are unfamiliar, every Sunday at 4 o'clock Pacific time, I host or somebody guest hosts the RV Women Hangout. And what we are a bunch of women who enjoy RVing. I happen to be a full-time RVer. Others in the group are full-time RVers as well. Some are part-time. Some are wannabe RVers. And what I created was a get-together so that it would just be women, because women's concerns about RVing are way different than men's, by the way. Why does it say I have to view on Foxfire or Chrome to view this BLAB? Don't have either on this iMac, and I don't want them. Geez, I don't blame you, Mama Wolf. I don't know, because I don't know enough about this particular setup to be able to answer that question. I thought you could sign in with your Twitter account if you have one, or you could just sign in anyway. And I don't know anything about Apple stuff, even though I have an iPhone that I also don't know how to use. But I don't know what the answer to that is. If I dress up as a girl, can I come on? Jeffrey, no. And here's why. Here's why. Basically, over on YouTube, where we have been doing this for months and months, when men, in observing channels that have both men and women involved, what we find is that, or what I have found, is that the conversation degrades considerably into something that we don't want. And so what I did was I started this forum where women are on the panel. Men can participate, of course, on the comment section, and we respond to the questions and things like that. But basically, this is about women RVers and the situations that we find ourselves in, because a lot of us aren't mechanical, or, we have never ventured into some of the arenas that you have to get into when, laugh out loud, I'm just kidding you. No, I didn't know that, Jeffrey. But every once in a while, we do have a guest who is a man on the RV Women Hangout. The voice quality is terrible. Is it from, well, I'm the only one talking. So everybody else talk instead of me and see if the voice quality is me. Talk.
Are you getting an echo here?
No.
I don't get an echo. I'm just reading the comments on the side.
When you talk, RV lady, there is a noise that comes with it.
I'm on a microphone and everything. Wait a minute. I was.
Whoa.
And it's between your boobs.
How's that? Is that any better?
Yes, it is better.
Okay, I obviously took off my microphone at some point, and I laid it on the table, and forgot. Oh well, nobody's perfect, especially me. Is that any better, audience? Is that any better?
Yes.
Yes, I've seen your vids. I think it from RV Lady. Okay, Kelly, is it better now?
Yes, better, she says.
Okay, thanks, Kelly. So basically, I don't really have a topic for tonight, and that's because I wasn't sure that we were actually going to get an audience over here on BLAB.IM. So I wasn't sure that I wasn't just going to be talking to myself.
I got a question.
Okay.
Maybe spark some conversation. Next year, not this winter, but next year, we're going to take our motorhome down for the winter for Florida. And I have found a RV resort that only allows Class A motorhomes in there. And they sell the lots too, but they rent them until they get them all sold. And I'm trying to get into their reasonable price for down there, and gorgeous grounds. Wondered if anybody else had stayed at any of those kind of resorts.
What part of Florida?
Yeah.
It's by Inglewood, between Inglewood and Port Charlotte, on the Gulf side.
Is that northern Florida?
No, it's south of Sarasota.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's down by Tampa.
Oh, it's south
No,
of there.
it's south of there.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere between Boca Raton and...
It's between Fort Myers and Sarasota. Or Boca, yeah, between Fort Myers and Boca.
Okay. Oh, that's a nice area.
It's a beautiful park.
What's the cost for a lot?
You got three prices. You can get if you get the outside line, which is away from the water because it's right on the Myakka River, then that is right at the mouth where it dumps into Port Charlotte Harbor. So if you get the back line, it's $1,000 a month. That includes Wi-Fi, water, sewer, all the amenities around, large pool, hot tub, exercise room, and your garbage. If you're staying there for months, for like 4 months, then they meter your electric. But they, if you take the inside ones, which they have these little lakes, you can pay $1,100. And if you take the right on the river, it's $14 a month. And then they give you, if you're staying more than 3 months, they give you a 5% discount on that. And for the month that is out of season, which would be for me April, they give you 10% off of your price.
Nana, check with Kimmy Cool Beans, all spelt with a K. They live over in that area. If I'm not mistaken. You might check with them. They do quite a bit of videos on the local area.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's Kimmy, Kimmie. I think KOOLBEANS, I believe.
Okay.
On YouTube. I don't know about Blab.
Okay. Well, I've got the pictures. I got brochures. A friend of mine went in there, and she says it's a gated community, and it's manicured to the max, but it's only the big RVs that they allow in.
Do they have a date or, the age of the RV?
They didn't mention it at all.
I'll bet they do. I'll bet they do. I know there are some long-term parks that your RV can't be more than 10 years old, I think. And
I've looked their entire brochure over. It is not mentioned in anything.
oh, interesting. Okay.
So the lots start at $100,000 if you want to buy them.
See, that's why my idea is so much better. $100,000 for a strip of concrete, and you probably don't actually own it. It's probably something that reverts back. And
I don't know about that because I have no intentions of buying it, but I'll rent.
Yeah, I wonder what the mosquitoes are like, and that's something that really.
It's not the mosquitoes that you have to worry about. It's the no-see-ums.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, the only experience I have with no-see-ums are from my windshield view. So driving through them,
Well, you can't see them, but they bite the hell out of you.
Yeah.
And they come through screens too.
Yeah.
Right. But we're down there every winter, and we get bit by no-see-ums because we fish at night. And you just.
Oh, the mosquitoes here in Texas are huge, and oh my God! Honest to God, in Southern California, we've used so many pesticides that we don't really have any bugs. And should I not be here? Is this chat exclusively for RV women? This chat, I'm looking at Shots Online. Basically what this is a forum that talks about RVing. What we have done is taken this forum from YouTube and brought it over to Blab because I like this better. And it enables us to interact without all the complications YouTube and Google Plus is offering for these types of hangouts. So basically, we have men over it is RV oriented. Okay, if you're not interested in RVing, then this is not the hangout or the blab for you. Because all we talk about, what we're supposed to be talking about is RVing, and basically more from a woman's perspective, and that's because men and women RV differently. And like I am a single woman, and I am a full-time RVer, and a lot of the things on the panel only but hang out with us. A lot of the duties, if you will, of RVing fall to me, and in some cases there are full-time RVers that are husband and wife or couples, and they separate the duties, but everybody should know how to take care, the functionality of whatever it is that has to do with their RV, whether it's hooking up your toad or it's emptying your tanks or it's changing a light bulb. It doesn't matter what it is. It should be something that everybody who is in an RV or wishes to be in an RV knows is out there, and that there are alternatives to muscling it is basically where I think. And I'm in the right place. I live full time and run my film business from my RV. I'm more interested in women's perspectives. Okay, then you're in the right place. And women do have a different perspective on this. We want, I think a woman is probably the first person who ever owned an RV that said, hey, let's rearrange the furniture because I don't like it. And, I think that men wouldn't think that way. They'd say, oh, there's a chair, I'll sit in it. and decorating the walls. There are just a lot of things that a woman's approach is just different than a man's approach. And for me, even hooking up my tow vehicle, I do it much differently. I use props and things like that to help me do it. But, I've always seen men just kind of, I'm going to back up and it's going to be straight and it's going to just fall on the ball and all's going to be good. And no matter how many times I have to go forward, back up, go forward, back up, go forward, back up. And, I have a solution to that, and I made a video about it that's over on YouTube. It's okay. I'll have furniture. It is true. Some of this furniture that they put in RVs, you got to really wonder, what were they thinking? And the way they've organized it, what were they thinking? They were thinking of a conventional house. And I think RVers are non-conventional people. And, we once had the question of, does it devalue your RV to start ripping the furniture out? We still haven't gotten an answer to that one. I don't know. Now, I haven't ripped out any furniture in my Class A. But, I would love to. If I ever park any place long enough and go rent a saw, I'm going to have a real good time and get rid of most of this table. And there's just things that I would like to change. And because it's just me in a 26-foot Class A. And so I don't need room for 4. Thank you. But I don't.
The big thing is that you make it your own. And if you turn around and wanting to sell it, it's just like your house. You've made it your own. And then if a realtor comes through and tells you need to change certain things to be able to put it on the market, then that's what you go for if you need to change it out thereafter. But you're living in it, so you need to make it comfortable to you.
Yeah. And everybody has different needs and wants. Mm-hmm. Some people want big recliners in their RV. Like me, I would love to have a big recliner. For sure. You can see my rectangular floor plan. Transferring furniture. I'm reading on the side. Is everybody reading on the side?
Yeah.
What do you think about this format compared to the other?
I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so good. How do you I'm echoing.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
That's calling your name.
Try turning your speaker down.
I don't know how to do that.
He was saying Dell, wasn't it?
That was funny.
Anyway, I'm going to have to get off. Sorry. Anyway, I wanted to say hello to everybody. I'd like to start using BLAB. And how do you invite people?
Well, of course, what I did for this BLAB was I went and set up a hangout over on Google Plus and also on YouTube. And I did that for 15 minutes, and I sent out the invites that I always send out to people who are, in the groups. And so that's how I sent out the invites. Now, how do you send out invites for here is up above on, you can see up above the little icons that register people. Basically, if you click on one of those, it says their name and then whether or not you want to follow them, if you will. And so what I do is I click on these people and I follow them. And then when I set up the chat, it says, do you want to invite the number of people that you are following? And then I click yes. And then I am assuming that it sends out some kind of invite to everybody. I don't have all the answers to this.
When I was watching your YouTube,
Yeah.
I got a box at the bottom of my computer that said that RV Lady is having a BLAB.IM.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how it, because nobody's ever done a blab that I've gone to, that I didn't know. The only other blabs I've been on are with RV, and basically we were just trying to figure out, how to use it. So I knew he was there, he knew I was there, and that was, there was no invite sent. So a lot of people find these blab conversations by just going on and seeing what the general topics are and then clicking in on whatever it is that they're interested in. And I think that we have an opportunity here to gain more followers or BLAB.IM conversation people through this medium. And I don't know. It's all an experiment. If you're not experimenting, then, you might as well be dead. Experiment every day. And so that's what we're going to do is simply experiment. Okay, Adele, say something.
Did that help? I turned my voice down.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. We still get a bit of echo, but it's not really bad.
I'm having a big sleepover with 5 grandchildren tonight, so I'm going to get off and just watch because they're coming and going into the room here.
Oh my gosh! Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, I'll really have Billy here tomorrow.
One day I'll have grandkids, and I will be happy that my house is on wheels and I can drive away.
So it's good seeing everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Adele.
Adele, there will be no next Sunday. There will be no hangout.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to announce that later, but so we have an open seat if anybody wants to come in. And basically because of the Thanksgiving weekend, we will not be having the RV Women Hangout next Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. We skip holidays, long weekends, things like that, and that's so that everybody has an appropriate amount of time to interact with their family, if they're inclined. Let's see, what else? Do we have any questions from the audience? Let's go over here. Oh, Jerry Dunsmore, hello. Hello, Jerry.
Is it in Texas, Ben?
Who's in Texas?
You.
Oh, yeah. I'm in Texas. And I am on Mustang Island, which is west and south of Corpus Christi. And, you go over a really big bridge and you're in Corpus Christi. But tomorrow we pull out. We were supposed to pull out today, but the place that I'm going to, I wasn't certain that they were going to have acceptable Wi-Fi. And so I decided that I would stay here one more night where I know they have good Wi-Fi. I mean, my Wi-Fi works here. And so I just decided we would stay another night and take off in the morning, and we're going to be heading east along the Gulf Coast until we find some place that we like. And not going.
Dream's coming your way, isn't she?
I'm sorry?
Deb's living the dream. Aren't they coming your direction?
You said they're not coming this far south.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure where they are going. Wherever she is, she's cold, I know, because it's cold in Texas today. And it was, I think it maybe got to a high of 60. And the wind last night was, I think the park ranger person told me it was 35-mile-an-hour winds last night. It was rocking and rolling in the RV. It was fun. It's kind of like being rocked to sleep. You know, it doesn't scare me. It's just wind. And it's just like being rocked to sleep. Now, Shots Online wants to know, I have totally unlimited data for $80 a month, and I use Google Chromecast for most of my visual entertainment. Anyone else do anything similar? Does anyone have a true prepaid unlimited mobile plan? I don't. I wish. What I have is Verizon. It's a 4G MiFi. I pay about, well, it's 10 gigabytes for $90. I typically use about 20 gigabytes a month. And so I'm paying $200 or less than $180 a month for to connect to the internet. Now, obviously, if I'm at an RV park that has Wi-Fi, I can do some of the things that I do utilizing that, but when it comes, because it's public, anybody can see what's going on there.
Shots Online, what is it what plan do you have that you have unlimited?
I have Verizon and it's prepaid.
No, for Shots Online, he has the unlimited for $80. What does he have?
Well, I have a feeling what he has is not a MiFi or he has just regular internet at his house. Am I wrong on that, or is that, let's see, T-Mobile unlimited data, talk and text, no contract phone plan. Okay, so that's how he's doing it, is via his phone. And
does he move around?
Yeah, are you moving around a lot? It's 4G TE speed, yeah. Like my house has 100 megabytes. Yeah, are you moving around, Shots? Or are you staying in one place? I move around a decent amount. Oh, that's good to know. And what part of the country are you in? Where are you? South Carolina to South Georgia.
Yeah, T-Mobile has started getting big in this area too, which we're in North Carolina. But
Florida.
I don't know about going over towards the West Coast.
Yeah, over on the West, you know, I have AT&T for a phone, for my phone line, my iPhone that I have no idea how to use really. But, and then I have Verizon for the MiFi. And they're like right now, I can get Verizon, but I cannot get AT&T.
Yeah. Okay. Verizon's got the biggest coverage, I think, all across the country.
Only versions. Yeah, a T-Mobile out west is very, very limited. I have the same T-Mobile plan, but it does not. Just Verizon, it does not work at my mom's house. Shoot, my AT&T in one portion of my house in California, it works, and if you go to the other side of the house, it doesn't work. So AT&T is just a monster. And where the Verizon, it works all the time. You know, it picks up, and I can do a lot on very little signal, and which is very nice as well. To be able to, because sometimes you're not getting full coverage. I had a few dead zones before. Yeah, AT&T and it's loaded with dead zones. So it's, but Verizon.
Do you have a hotspot booster, RV lady?
No, I don't. And the reason I don't is because they have one called the Wi-Fi Ranger, and it's like $800. And call Verizon and shop your deal. I get 10 gigs. Well, okay, let me answer that one question first. I don't have one because that Wi-Fi Ranger thing costs something like $700 or $800 or $600 or something. And, you know, if I'm going to spend that much money, yeah, I better get really, really, really good internet, because to me, that's a lot of money. Yeah. As far as the other mechanisms for boosting, I don't see them as, because I have the MiFi, I don't see them as beneficial, because if I'm boosting somebody's signal so that I can get it, and I'm at a camp, you know, a camp place, RV park, yeah, I'm going to tell them to boost their signal. I'm not going to go out and buy something when I can just complain. I'm so awful. But because the reason that I have prepaid Verizon is because I was going to Mexico. And what I did not want to have is a plan that I had to pay for each month that I couldn't get out of a contracted plan while I was down in Mexico. Now that I am probably not going to Mexico because I'm a big chicken. No, I'm not. I'm just...
Get someone to caravan with you.
I need to find other people who are going where I want to go. And
you're being smart. What you're being. You're just being smart.
Yeah, but I really want to go. But anyway, I didn't want to have a MiFi Wi-Fi plan that I had to pay for while I was in Mexico because, you know, I'm thrifty. So I got the prepaid plan. Now, if I determine that I'm absolutely not going to Mexico, I'm calling up Verizon and saying, hey, you know, give me 100,000 megabytes or 100,000, you know, gigabytes for $59.95, you know, and make some kind of deal with them. Now, I see shots that you said check Technomadia, and I follow Technomadia, and they also offer the Wi-Fi Ranger. And once again, if you're going to pony up $800, oh my God, I better be the only one on it. To me, that's a lot of money to spend on one thing in your RV when $800, that's engine work, that's transmission work, that's a lot of money. And yeah, $800 is rather just, yeah. Radio Labs, $300.
Radio Labs.
But yeah, $300 is still a lot of money for a booster.
Right.
All you're doing is you're boosting somebody else's signal so that you can draw that signal into you. And yeah, that's really great, but I don't really want to be on McDonald's website or whatever it's called. You know, there are a lot of things. I mean, for me personally, a lot of the things that I do cannot be broadcast over, you know, public Wi-Fi.
Right.
So, audio. You need a booster for the hotspot. You only need a booster for the hotspot. Okay, well, I don't need a booster. I have a hotspot. Oh, I see what you're saying. Boost so that you can reach the source of the signal. Yeah, I get that. But depending on what I'm doing, let's move closer to the signal. It depends on what I'm doing. Those are things that I pay attention to when I am, you know, cruising around looking for places to go. Do I have signal here? Do I have, you know, because there was one place that I wanted to go. There's absolutely no signal there except Homeland Security. They had a signal.
Don't think he's going to get in on that one.
Yeah, I considered hacking in, but I just don't have the. But
you might get to Mexico in a different way.
yeah, maybe I can see Cuba. Yeah, I'd really like to go to Cuba, by the way. I think that would be really great. First off, here we have Patrick. He says he's hitting the road January 15th. First up is Louisiana. Follow me too. Okay, I will. I'm following you now. I'm real interested to. I may just slip over and go over to Florida, because I don't know that Texas is going to be warm enough for me. And so I may end up over there, somewhere down south. Come to Sarasota. I would love to go to Sarasota. Florida is the ish. Okay.
Come down to Inglewood. I'll let you park in the driveway.
Okay. Does it have power, sewer? Do it free Wi-Fi signal?
Getting tricky.
Should be plenty warm where you are now. It isn't. It's 60 degrees. This is not warm to me. This does not make me want to go into the Gulf of Mexico and go swimming. And I did a video on those. I think they're called man o' wars.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're all over the beach. So do I want to go swim in the Gulf right now? Not so much. Not so much. Be playing where you are now. I don't know, and nobody seems to be able to give me a concrete answer whether this is typical weather, or if this is El Nino effect, or if this is, just some bizarre thing, or it's the El Nino. Okay.
This year's weather is just totally different than it's been in the past. I mean, we've had 70 degrees weather here in November, and it's usually sweater and coat weather at that time. So one day it's cool and the next day it's hot.
Yeah, I've been watching the weather, and they don't forecast over 60 degrees, 60, 65 degrees. And I'm used to 75, 80. So this is cold. I'm in long sleeves. I'm, considering turning on the heat.
Degrees in Michigan right now. I want to get the hell out of here.
Oh my God. I couldn't do that. I really couldn't. I could not do that kind of cold.
We just had 4 inches of snow, 29 degrees.
Well, hopefully, it will warm up around here, and then I can just float on the Gulf Coast for the winter, which would be fine with me. I might even take up fake fishing. But I woke up to 5 degrees today. Oh my God. I'd wake up, get in the car, and drive someplace where it's not 5 degrees, Jerry. It's 39 in Atlanta.
We usually, when we go south, we don't warm up until south of Atlanta.
Yeah. I've driven through Atlanta in the snow.
Yeah.
It's the south part of Florida, actually. Even Tallahassee and stuff, they usually even get snow, during the wintertime. So
yeah,
we're going back to California. We don't get snow there. And the only reason that I even left California was because of El Nino, because I have been there during El Nino years, and the downpour is amazing. Yeah. There's just so much rain, so much water. And
it's warm right now.
Yeah, but there is nothing to do there.
Yeah, exactly.
Except shop and eat.
If you get below Tampa, get below Sarasota and down, stay on the Gulf, or I don't know about the Atlantic side, but the Gulf side, and not in the middle, you'll stay warm all the time.
Yeah. The Atlantic side is good too. We lived down in the Cocoa Beach area for 14 years, and it's fairly warm there. When it would hit 59, we were cold.
Yeah.
Because we're used to the heat.
Yeah.
Now, and I got a story to tell you. We went down about 4 years ago for a cruise, and we were taking it down out of Tampa Bay area. And we started out with our heavy coats. We had 2 layers of sweaters on, and we're heading down there. And as we're going down, the clothes are coming off. So we stop off at McDonald's to grab some coffee before going and lining up for the cruise ship. And we're in our by this time we're in shorts and short sleeve, our tank tops. Yeah. And we walk in, and everybody in the McDonald's was in sweaters and coats. Yeah. And we were just in the shorts. And we thought, when we lived there, we thought how crazy these people were. But your body does get adapted.
Yeah.
So
I remember getting in the car in Florida to drive back north when I lived in Ohio, and to go back up to school after spring break or whatever. And you start out with nothing on, practically, in Florida. We would drive it straight through, get up to Ohio, get out of the car. Oh my God, it was horrible. Mm-hmm. We were in shorts and bathing suit tops.
Right.
And
we went on a flight overseas and did the same thing. We left, in shorts from Florida and stopped off in Minneapolis for a changeover of planes. And it was coats. I mean, you felt like you needed them. It was cold in the airport.
Yeah. Well, it was cold. You run the heater, and you don't even realize how really cold it is. When you're driving up from Florida, especially when you've got 5 people in the car and 4 people are sleeping and 1 person is driving.
Right.
Because you waited too long to head north. But I've done that several times, gotten out in Ohio and, to snow, and I'm in sandals and with no coat. You don't take a coat. You have to run into a building and warm
we
up.
get down to Inglewood and we get down there 1st of January, and you might in January have a few days that are chilly. Mm-hmm. But chilly is nothing to compare to what we set up here in Michigan with.
Oh, I know.
And we can handle chilly with a little light jacket,
Yeah. It's I'm not sure that I'm not heading for Florida. It depends on what happens in the next couple of weeks around here. And there's a couple of RV parks that are for sale that I want to go look at that are over east of Houston, and pretty close to the Louisiana border over there. So Florida is expensive. Every place is expensive. My God, I went into a grocery store here. They wanted $6 for an avocado.
Oh, geez.
I was like, what? Okay, it was a big avocado, but still, the pricing, any place that you go that is catering to, well, I don't know. It was an IGA. An IGA caters to the regular folk along with the traveler. And yes, it was $6 for an avocado. Haas avocado, big one, nice one.
Russ says he'll mail you one for $5.
What do you mean? I'll call my daughter and have her send me a bushel for 10. The RV study rate here is $1,200 a month. See, I think $1,200 a month, unless it's inclusive, is a lot of money. And I mean, in California, they're $1,200 a month. But that's, on the coast and stuff like that. Only one for $5. Does not include electricity. Oh, see, to me, that's just crazy, Patrick. $1,200 a month and does not include electricity. What?
That's the way it is in Florida.
Well, I figured as much. That's why I figured that I would do the free places to park in Florida trip. And
that's the reason that, Patrick, you should be on the road. He says that's exactly the reason he's not on the road, but that's the reason you should be on the road.
Patrick, why Louisiana? Oh, that's me. Am I getting like all kinds of yuckiness?
Yes, you're getting a little echo.
Oh, what's up with that? See, it like comes and goes. I don't get it. Let's do that. Okay, is that any better?
I don't get it.
Yeah, that sounded all right.
Okay. I had my speakers up really high.
Oh, here's Granny.
That's Granny, yeah.
Turn the sound down.
Hey, Granny.
Look at you in your little warm hoodie. How you feeling?
Oh. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad.
Yeah. We have a question here.
Ran out of propane and it got kind of cold in here, so.
Ooh, that would be bad. We have a question from BD Bedeck. Okay, I have no idea how to say that. Can you guys tell us what it is about RVing that you love most? You most love. What is it about RVing that you most love?
I say seeing the different sites.
I think it's the friendly people. I mean, people are notoriously friendly.
Yeah.
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 I would have to go with everything. There is nothing about RVing that I don't love. I mean, even having to empty the black and gray water tanks is nothing. Being able to move whenever you want to and take everything with. Okay, it's and Kelly says the freedom. It really is. It's this life affords you an opportunity to really not conform. And the people are very nice. And I would say most of them are very nice. I don't know that I've met any, except maybe this guy that's next to me because he hates my dog. But that's because he has a dog. And he's in a diesel pusher and they have to pull in, so his door is on my side. And a regular gas, he would have backed in and his door would have been on the other side. But which I never realized about diesel pushers until this trip, this campground.
I don't understand that. Why?
I don't either. Why would he have to do that?
Because his door is on the passenger side. His all his hookups are on the driver's side. So
Right.
he has to pull straight in because this campground is set up for the. Okay, I have no idea.
Pull into places where the hookups were on the wrong side, but you just throw them underneath and.
Yeah. And not to mention, isn't his door and his outing, the plugs and everything, the same as yours?
As far as I know. I mean, he's probably 50 amp. I can do 50 or 30.
Yeah.
Maybe he just liked the view out the window.
I don't know. Yeah, that could be too. That could very well be. Okay. I wonder who other than retired lots of cash can afford those rates. Okay, we had most of your list. Spots you've been. Oh, favorite spots that you've been to.
All over Idaho, Canada, and Alaska, all over the place.
I like Idaho.
I have actually not discovered that yet. My favorite spot. There are a lot of places that I've been that I like very much. The Redwood National Forest was amazing to me. But that's because I'm from Southern California and we don't really have big trees. We have little trees. But I have not found that place yet. And I'm hoping
it's not about the site that you stop at. It's just the enjoyment of the area.
Yeah.
Like most places. I mean, there isn't any one site that you can actually say you stayed at that you like best.
I can.
Where's that?
It was in Idaho. It was a little town called Buell. Or not Buell. Buell. Yeah, Buell, Idaho. There's a place that had a hot springs. In fact, Janice did a video about being in the same area, and I told her she missed the best spot because she didn't go to the, it's called Miracle Hot Springs, and it's in Idaho, in between Boise and Twin Falls. And it's a really neat little spot, and we just found it by accident. They have hot springs there, and they have a hot springs swimming pool and private hot tubs that they empty and clean each time somebody uses them.
Wow.
And it's
right.
as big as a small swimming pool. Oh yeah. Because it's natural hot springs. They're not paying for the water, it just comes out of the ground. And it's filled up with the water from the hot springs, and then they pipe some cold water in there out of the river so that you can cool it down so it isn't too hot. And I think it was like $10 an hour. And an hour is plenty. And I dream about that place. I want to go back so bad. But it's about 500 miles from us.
Not a weekend trip.
and the rates were very, very reasonable. The only
I think that
was TV.
Yeah, I think that once you are used to your rig, you know where it can go and where it can't go. You're able to explore far more. Nobody mentioning the money that you can save as a favorite thing about RVing. And shots, that's because I don't know that you can really save a lot of money being an RVer. I find that it is mildly comparable to brick and mortar living. It is different in that if you don't like your house, you just move it, but basically you're paying for fuel for your vehicle. When you move, you got to pay for fuel depending on the size of your vehicle. Now I have a 26-foot Class A. It gets maybe 8 miles to the gallon. And so when I move it, that's, money that I'm spending on that. Then but you have that. And then when you pull into an RV park, you've got to pay them. If you use an RV park, sure, you can boondock or, there are a lot of other alternatives to actually paying to be in an RV park. But then there's always something else. You have to be able to run your generator in order to have power, or you have to be able to put your solar panels out to have power. You have to find some place to empty your tanks. It's probably a bit cheaper than having a house, but it's kind of same. I found it to be pretty much same.
I think generally that if you buy your RV outright, if you got the finances to be able to sell a house and have enough money to buy an RV outright and not make payments on it, even if you make payments on it, they're going to be cheaper than the house payment would be. I think that's where people think they're saving money, but you still, like you said, you got to have insurance. You got to pay for the gas.
Some of these people aren't moving around either, so they're not putting gas in if they're not moving around that much.
Yeah, see, I haven't moved in 3 years. So
Yeah. And if you're not moving, then obviously you're not going through that fuel. And I can see where your expenses would be very minimal, because then it would just be LP gas and whatever your electricity would be and food. Am I missing anything? Entertainment.
Well, during the years when we were moving, we did a lot of boondocking, or we shopped around for cheaper places cheaper RV parks. I stayed in one in Arizona for a few months that was only $180 a month, and you had to pay for electric, but I think my electric cost maybe $30-40 a month, and so that's pretty darn cheap.
Yeah.
And we even had the spot we had was really nice. It was fenced in. We could let our dogs out and run around in the yard. It was great. But we were way out in the Tulies.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how you want to live and where you want to live. Obviously $1,200 a month in Florida versus what I was paying in Sacramento, California, which was like $300 and change, maybe $400, but I don't even think it was $400. It was like $375 a month, included electricity. But that was in a horrible, mobile home / RV park in Sacramento, California. But it enabled me to do what I needed to do, which was get some work done. So it all depends on what your motivation is, what your plan is. See, I don't want a brick and mortar house anymore because I don't want my house not to be on wheels. I want to be able to move. I don't have any desire to stay in one town, shop at one grocery store, go to one drugstore, I don't want to do that anymore. Done that. Been there. That's really great
because you have a neighbor you don't like, you move.
Yeah, exactly. Or if somebody's dog moves in next door and they're really annoying, you just move. And it's absolutely the freedom that you have because your house is on wheels. And what's really nice about having your house on wheels is that you have to stay highly organized all the time. So you A, know where stuff is, and B, can move. It's like tomorrow before I move, everything will be put away where it belongs. So it doesn't end up, flying at me while I'm driving on the road. Or falling off a table, stuff like that. I think that that makes nice. It is the freedom to live wherever you want, to go wherever you want. If it's cheaper living up north, then you can go up north and live. If it's sunshine you seek and beaches, then you go find that. That's what I like, sunshine, beaches.
Well, and you can stay in your bed every night and not have to worry about somebody else's bed.
Excellent. Yeah.
There's a huge difference between the RV parks on the East Coast and on the West Coast, too. We tried to RV in the East and had a horrible time finding a decent park at a decent price. It's a lot easier to RV out West than it is in the East.
Well, yeah, I suppose it depends on what you're looking for. If you're going to park near an attraction of any kind, then you're going to pay premium price. For a dump, is what I have found.
What I stayed in the East was next to a dump.
I've stayed in some dumps, honest to God. It was terrible. I mean, some of them have been just horrible. But, then there are others that are really nice. I've been in state parks that have been very nice. I've been in state parks that are horrible. This state park that I'm in now is basically a parking lot with slots. You know, there are no trees. There's nothing beautiful about it. There's no, you know, it's seagrass and that surrounds you. And I think they cut the lawn occasionally when it needs it. And the mosquitoes are just awful.
There's a lot of beautiful parks here in the North Carolina area, both for boondocking and for, you know, renting, be it private or state or national.
Yeah, I'm thinking about in the spring doing South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, and then turning west and heading west. And yeah, because Georgia, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, to me, they're just beautiful, beautiful states. Virginia, beautiful states. And so it's just you know, I would like to do that. Of course, I would like to go to Mexico. Okay, I'm going to stop whining about that.
You just need to get a forum to where they have a convoy going down, where it's individuals, not where you pay for a convoy.
Right. The cheapest convoy, professional convoy that I found is $3,500. And they're not going where I want to go. They're going to Mexico City, which is like, please kill me town. And, you know, and I'm looking for somebody who just wants to do the Gulf Coast all the way to the Yucatan. You would think that there would be people who would want to do that. But no, I can't find them. And I've been over on RV Forum and organize a group from BLAB. From BLAB, organize a group on BLAB. That might work. I'll try it. I'll try anything. You know, I would really. Down and noticing almost all the way down. Oh. Yeah, it would be nice to actually video meet people before venturing into danger with them. So, yeah, that would be. People are afraid of Mexico. Yes, they are. And even the locals here, basically. And people here, Texans, no, don't go there. You know, there's a town called Progresso, and I've heard good things about the dentistry there. And so I thought I would maybe go over to Progresso, and a guy who was parked next to me here in this RV park that I'm in says, no, don't go there. There's too much cartel activity. And from BLAB, I'm not sure how I did, but the answer to the question my son was. Okay, I don't know. But yeah, I would love to find some RVers that want to go down to the Yucatan. I mean, we don't have to stay together once we get down there because the Yucatan is generally safe. Very few kidnappings, very little murder, if any. But, you know, they've had like 5 in 1 year, and I want to say that year was this is 2015, so I want to say 2014. They had like 5 kidnappings in the Yucatan. So
someone asked about how many RVers would it be to make a caravan? Usually 3 or more.
I would say 3 or 4. You know, I not much more than that. I would say 3 at least. And then, but it would be nice to travel with knowledgeable people. You know, I don't need to travel with 2 more people like me. I'd like to travel with people who actually know the language and, you know, are capable of smart thinking. Is that what I want to say? Intelligent thought. Yeah, something like that. I say 3 folks that want to go. I am sure there are 3 folks that want to go to Mexico. Yeah, you would think that there would be, and you'd think they'd be over an RV forum. And
you need someone that speaks Spanish, somewhat.
Get a translator.
Well, I don't mind hiring a translator once I get down there. You know, because I would like to hire a guide, you know, who speaks English that can take me around to some of the things that maybe are not on the beaten path. I would like that very much.
There's
But
actually several of them I read over here on the other side. There are several Canadians actually that do go down to Mexico from the California side, aren't there?
I don't know how they go down. I am not interested in taking that trek that leads me anywhere near Mexico City. And the closer you get to that condensed population, just the more trouble there is. And so, I was thinking that I was going to be traveling with, or, going down there and traveling among just the regular folk. And that's what I want to do. I'm not interested in, those people who are going to try to sell me a leather coat and it's 85 degrees outside. I'm not interested in that. I don't want to go shopping in Mexico. I want to go awful outside of the resort.
I don't agree. Vic Smith, we've gone to Belize and went into the outside skirts. I've even looked at the prospects of buying property down there, and you can get to Belize going through Mexico.
Of course you can. Mm-hmm. Belize and Mexico, join, share a border.
The outskirts of Belize, if you've gotten yourself a good, reliable guide, is very pretty, and you can be off of any resorts.
Oh, Belize is awful outside the resort. Okay. Once again, it depends on what is your motivation for travel. Mm-hmm. Is your motivation for travel to snorkel in the Caribbean and, swim with manta rays? It depends on what it is that you want to do. And yeah, I'd like to do that. but anytime you venture out your door, it's dangerous. So I don't know what to do. I just need some people who want to go down there.
The story on the news today where the guy and his wife went down to Central America on vacation. They were going to stay for 6 weeks, and 1 week into it, they rented a car and were involved in an accident. They ran over some guy that was laying in the middle of the road because he had been hit by a truck. He was on a motorcycle and he'd been hit by a truck. They ran into him, and now the guy, they threw him in prison. He's going to have to stay there for 6 months at least while they have a trial to see whether or not he was innocent or. So he's stuck down there. He can't leave.
Yeah.
And that's always kind of the thing that's always bothered me about crossing the border in Mexico is I've heard horror stories about people that have gotten into trouble and the American embassy can't help them. They're just stuck.
Yes.
Yeah, when you're in a foreign country in general, it does that. I got another story to tell y'all. We lived over in Indonesia for 4 years, and the first year that we were over there, we homeschooled our children while we were there, and we were out and about, and they have a lot of the turnabouts, and at certain times of the day, the turnabouts are not allowed for you to go a certain way on. You have to go around that direction and take another route. Well, it was 4 o'clock, and that's what time that the turnabouts started. Okay, I proceed to go on into that turnabout. Well, sure enough, here comes a cop, pulls me over, and he can't speak English, and he's asking me for my passport and all. The American embassy had already told us never to give you passports or anything. Carry them with you at all times, but don't turn them over to them. So I played like I couldn't understand what he was saying, although I did know what he was saying. And then he asked me for the registration of the car, and I did give him the registration to the car. And then he proceeded to say that I needed to pay X amount of dollars, and he'd give me my registration back. And I was telling him that I didn't understand him. I didn't understand what he was saying. So we pull around, and I finally tell them that they need to take me to the main police station. And they got fed up with me playing like I couldn't understand what they were saying. So they took me down to the police station. Police station ended up putting me up to the top guy that was in there. And I finally told them, I says, look, I says, this is what has happened today. Your officer has asked me for a bribe, and that is against your law, and I know that. And I says, I've got 2 children with me, and I says, I am homeschooling them. This is their history lesson. Do you want the American Embassy to know what the history lesson is about the police department in Indonesia? Well, they were all, got all upset in that respect. And they said, well, we're going to send you down. Your title, your registration for your car is at this location. It's not here or here. We're going to take you down there. So they brings me downstairs, and then they asked me to drive my car. Well, I don't have the registration in the car. And I said, you're going to ask me to drive my car and I have no registration in it? I don't think so. I says, because then you're going to put me in jail for not having the registration with the car. So the 2 police officers, he says, no, we're not going to do that. Honestly, we're just going to take you down to get your registration. No problem, ma'am. So I says, well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to drive the car. We will go to the car and you will drive the car. So we get to the car and the officers drive the car. So we're sitting in the back seat, and I looked over at my daughter, and at this time she was 14 years old. And I says, I don't know that I did the right thing. And we get on over to the police station where the registration is, and there are a stack, I'm kidding not, from the table to about our shoulders high of tickets that they had issued that day, and they had taken the registrations of cars. So they had to find our registration. We're there for about an hour or so, and finally the guy grabs a copy of our ticket and our registration, and he says, come with me. Takes me over, and it happened to be the consulate over the police department, which is like the vice president of the country, that they ended up having me meet with, and said, now, you were treated okay. We're sorry about the situation with the bribe, that particular officer will be reprimanded for, asking for a bribe for your ticket. You did go across from what you're saying with your time stamp and all of going across at the right time. There's no problem here. We have no problem. Is that correct? And I said, are you giving me my registration back? He said, yes, ma'am. Here's your registration. I says, we have no problem. We went and got out in the car, and I looked at both of the kids, and I says, boy, that was something. Because I'm telling you, I thought I was going to jail. I really did. Because then it was a company car that I was driving. It wasn't something that we owned. It was a company car, and I went to go pick my husband up from work, and he said, well, where have you been? And I told him, and he says, you have got to be kidding me. I says, no. I says, I really thought I was going to call you and tell you I was in jail.
Well, on that note, we're glad you're not in jail. And it is 5:31, or okay, I don't know what time it is, but it's time to end this. I don't know what time zone I'm in, but it's time to end this. And so we will not be having a hangout next weekend on Sunday because of Thanksgiving weekend. And so I will see you all in a couple of weeks. And that's all I know. Okay.
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Everyone have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming. Okay, go ahead, click. Okay. Everybody wants to do that now. It's so funny. The RV, what are you doing?
I'm saying hello.
Oh, well, the chat thing is over.
Yeah, well, not officially because there's still people here. I wanted to thank everybody who was here in my migraine head. Wanted to thank everybody who was here, who was at the RV hangout on Friday. It was a fantastic success. It was so successful that Nomadic Fanatic has committed to 3 more shows. Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to see where it goes.
Yeah, I want to really thank you for letting me know you were going to do that.
We talked about it.
No, it's okay. I watched it later on, recorded.
Sure.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It was actually refreshing to watch men in a hangout where it didn't all
where it wasn't all fart jokes.
Well, it was nice. It was a nice hangout. And and both men participated really well in the hangout, shared their stories, et cetera. And that is really great. Where's that video? That video is on Yarv's channel. And Kelly just asked that. And that's all I know. It's on the channel.
Yep.
But YouTube. Yeah.
We actually ran 3 hours, but I forgot to record the first hour, so it's 2 hours long. And I've had a few people comment publicly and privately saying, I never thought that I would watch a 2-hour YouTube video, and it was such good information the whole time.
Yeah.
We kept taking questions and answering questions, and there's no dead air, and there's a
Yeah,
little bit of me blabbing on. But
yeah, you had a lot of good questions, and that's really what makes it vital for people to watch. I liked it. It was fun, and I was surprised that I actually watched as much of it as I did. I did fast forward through a few things, but and it's only because I'm so stingy with my whatever that's called, YouTube stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called? Wi-Fi. And so, I just kind of fast forwarded through some of the stuff, but it was really interesting. And it was real interesting when you said about bandwidth use and Blab versus YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that a lot. And hi, Russ. I didn't say hello to you, Russ, while you were on.
Oh, hi, Russ.
We were having the chat thing. But hi, Russ. And but anyway, I recorded this, so I will post it on my channel.
Awesome.
And now, are you going to take every Friday at 6 p.m.
We've committed to every Friday.
Yeah.
At 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
For at least an hour. And then he and I are actually going to co-host. And then we're going to get a third guest who we're kind of on the fence whether it's going to be somebody who's already kind of in the YouTube circles like Justin or Andrew, somebody like that. We're thinking maybe we might ask Elizabeth Vangirl if she wants to come on and talk about her experience. And we're going to try and mix it up, and we're definitely going to try. I mean, we've committed to 3 shows, and probably it's going to go longer than that. With the understanding that we're both going to promote the show, we're going to treat it like an actual podcast and commit to it kind of long term if we have a good test run. And he'll be there as an on-air host when he's got good connection. Otherwise, it'll be up to me.
Nice.
So we are looking for long-term guests. Pat, nice. When you're probably at the 3-month mark, you're on the list.
Who is that?
Patrick,
yeah.
Patty.
I think he already signed off tonight, so he didn't hear that. But nice. Are you going to keep it about RVing, or are you going to expand the subject matter?
It's going to be specifically about full-time RVing, and because of who Eric and I are, we're going to, I think, try and aim at primarily at working age people who aren't, so we can cover grounds of how do you afford how to do this.
Yeah. And that I think that people are still confused by how people who are in their working years afford or organize themselves enough to be able to have a mobile life and make money too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that'll be real interesting. I'll definitely tune in.
Yeah.
And now that I know when it is, I thought the last conversation we had, I said, let me know when you're going to do this or if you're going to do this. And then you were like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, you didn't.
Oh, well, yeah, the previous Friday I was sick as a dog, and I didn't show up for your hangout tonight because I had a friggin' migraine. I literally just woke up. I went back to bed at 11 o'clock this morning and have been back there kind of hoping that I would die.
Oh, yeah. Believe me, been there, done that. Yeah, we've had some.
I was kind of wishing that you were still here because I would have dragged my carcass over to your bed and said, "Can I have Imitrex? I've never tried it."
I know. God, they're heaven too. They really are. We have somebody who wants to come in. Should we let him in?
Yeah, it's an open seat.
Xanadu1JW. Xan. Well, let's find out who Xanadu. Hello, Xanadu.
Me.
You're on.
Hi, I just wanted to tell the RV that chelated magnesium will help immensely with the migraines. I would be subject to them very frequently if I were not taking
Magnesium, okay.
Oh, magnesium.
preferably.
Yeah.
Chelated makes it more easily digested, and Amazon has a couple of forms of it that do not cause the digestive upsets that normal magnesium does. One of them is Neurogen, and you take 2 to 4 tablespoons of that a day, and it'll build up in your arm, and you'll stop having migraines, and whilst you are eating things that you are sensitive to.
Well, great. Thanks for sharing. That sounds great. I have tried a lot of homeopathic remedies to no avail, but
this is not. This is a mineral, and so.
Oh, magnesium.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I take magnesium. I wish it helped. That'd be great.
Possibly eating things that you don't know are sensitizing you towards migraines, but I don't want to hold y'all up because I know that the discussion was already over. I just wanted to insert that real quick. For the
all right, well, thank you.
I don't know how to get back out of here because this is the first time.
That's okay, I do. Thanks for coming by. Okay, there's an X up in the top corner, and if you just click on the X, it takes you out.
I tried to figure out how to get on earlier, and I just managed right as we're finishing.
Okay, thanks for dropping by. Oh, and I lost the RV. Okay, well, this is over, and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody at this point. Thanks for stopping by, and y'all take care and have a great and happy Thanksgiving. And remember what the day is about, and that is about friends, family, and being close to those people without fighting with them. Good luck with that. Anyway, take care. I'll see you in 2 weeks. No RV Women Hangout tomorrow. I mean, next Sunday, I'm sorry. And y'all take care and be brave. Bye.